Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Let's Play Rimworld Alpha 15 modded. So, I think number one priority this episode is probably getting the component assembler done. We are researching it, and it's going to take a very long time to research it, but we should get it eventually. We were able to buy a bunch of components, so even though I spent a lot of them on more or less finishing up this turret area, I think I'll still mine some out. Because even though we still have 44, and we need 30 to build a component assembler, I think I'll still mine some out. And the other thing I was thinking of doing was actually building one of these awesome modded turret things you can have. These are man turrets, I believe, and I don't think I'll want this because this is a grenade launcher, and I feel like that could cause a large amount of, it would definitely do a lot of devastation against the enemies, but it would, if you look at the range of it, I think it would cause a lot of collateral damage, especially to our turrets. So I'm not gonna do that, but I think I'm gonna add these, and these only take 8 components apiece, whereas these are 16 components. So I can add 2 of these and still be, well, at least once I'm done mining these out, I'll still be above 30, which is what I am looking for. So what I'm actually gonna do is reinstall these over here because I want these turrets to be front and center. So yes, someone reinstall all these here. I'll just wait for a bit. Got visitors from the Bren of Raccoon. Ooh, they do have stuff to trade. Probably not much. Oh yeah, something someone mentioned, to be honest, I know people have mentioned this to me multiple times, is, let me just do this before I forget. With all these added items, I really don't know what a lot of them do, but apparently with this particular mod, where is it? Let me just try to find it in the first place. Yeah, unfortunately with this mod, the stuff isn't very well categorized. Everything's kind of just spit out. Yeah, I should disable the feral stuff, because apparently this causes debuffs when it comes to your character's charisma, so it's kind of like, it feels like it's armor from Fallout New Vegas or something, because it causes debuffs to your actual character's stats. And I think most of the generic stuff in the game doesn't really, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the generic stuff doesn't really affect your characters. Oh yeah, I have a bunch of brawlers for some reason, and that should not be a thing. Yeah, because unfortunately when I added the brawler class, oh yeah, the Hariel I did is the one I think Hariel, let me just check here. Yeah, Hariel I think is a pacifist. So the Hariel I just made a brawler so she wore a shield at all times. So when I added that brawler class, I replaced the anything class, so now that just kind of screwed everything up. So yeah, there we go, that's better. And I got rid of the feral thing. I'm gonna do the same for Darth Kitten, the nudist class. Because, yeah, apparently the feral headgear causes a lot of problems when it comes to your character's charisma. So I guess what's been happening is Stylo we've been getting slightly lower prices because of Stylo. Actually, I'm curious. I'm just going to do oh, never mind. Well, actually, we can check with them. So, yeah, Stylo, I'm going to just see how big of a difference it makes. So, let's just memorize these. Let's memorize theirs. 264, 1988, and 1113. And this is the one I should really just memorize. 949. Oh, a kinetic pistol. That's something I haven't seen before. Huh. Yeah, I've never seen that before. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm hoping we get hit by more Federator raids, because that's the one group that they actually have some more interesting weaponry, whereas the ferals are just useless. Okay, so 949. So, let's now let you take that off. Yeah, okay, take that off, and let's see. So it was 949, I think. Now it's still 949. Oh. It doesn't look like it made much of a difference, as in, it's the same amount as it was. Yeah, I don't really see a difference, so I don't know. Maybe one person just thought I don't know. I wonder if someone was wrong, or yeah. Yeah, a bunch of people, or at least one person mentioned that it affects your character's charisma, and then everyone, parroted that person, but yeah, it doesn't look like it does really, so. Or at least it doesn't affect buying prices. I guess it might have affected the selling prices slightly, but it didn't look like those were significantly changed either, so. Yeah, it turns out that doesn't make as much of a difference as I thought. I'll still make sure that people don't wear it. Oh yeah, we've got a massive fire that's raging over here, so destroying all the wood that I was wanting to harvest over here, because yeah, that was one of my plans, is after mining this out, I would use this as just an opportunity to gather some wood. Oh yes, and I'm an idiot and I never changed the hauling priorities back, so that's one of the reasons why my people have probably been very inefficient, is because any second they can haul something, they have been. So yeah, I don't know, I make a lot of stupid mistakes like that. Yeah, see, that's one of the good things why I prefer streaming, is because I make a lot of small, stupid mistakes, and I know that really irritates certain people that watch me. Actually, well, personally, I don't even want people like this watching me, but there's actually been a couple people where I've made, like, a stupid mistake, like, I haven't noticed. Like, for example, I didn't notice people cremating bodies, or stupid mistakes like that, or, like, I had something blocking a doorway, or, I don't know, something like that, something stupid. And I've actually had, like, a couple people, and it's really only been, like, 1 or 2 people, or, like, 2 or 3 people, I guess, that have actually, like, said, like, oh, I cannot watch your videos anymore because you made that one mistake. And it's like, Jesus, how are you that petty? Like, wow, I made a stupid mistake that somehow you can't deal with so much. You've got so much OCD that you couldn't deal with me making that one mistake. And like I said, I make the mistakes relatively often, but, like, if you're that petty and, like, I don't know, OCD or whatever, that you can't deal with someone making a stupid mistake like that, that's kind of sad. I don't really necessarily want you watching my videos if you can't even deal with that, so good riddance, I suppose. But, like, yeah, I realize it's annoying, and like I said, I watch Let's Plays too, so I find it, when people make stupid mistakes like that, I find it annoying too, but usually I can deal with it. Yeah, I think I've mentioned this in a Let's Play a long time ago, but one thing, whenever I watch a lot of Let's Players, I notice a lot of Let's Players just as a whole make stupid mistakes, just like all the time. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, but I think there's two things, like being someone who used to only watch Let's Plays and now I actually make them, I can kind of understand why those mistakes are made, because honestly, it may not seem like it's a lot, but when you're always trying to think of something to talk about and commentate on, it does kind of take away a decent amount of your attention span. I mean, just as an example, if any of you watched the Mythbusters, I know they did an episode where they tested how someone talking on the phone affected their ability to drive, you know? And I think there's been actual, like, more scientific studies done on that, and it does actually cause a big difference. So, I mean, if you imagine trying to always think of something to talk about while you're playing a video game, it does definitely affect your ability to play it well. It's definitely an acquired skill, you know, like, some of the Let's Players out there that are, like, really good at video games, or at a particular video game, and they can still talk and, you know, make a perfectly decent conversation, that's pretty damn impressive, because it is kind of difficult. And the other thing is I don't know, I think people just don't kind of realize how big of a difference it makes when you're playing a game versus watching someone else play a game, because I've even noticed when I watch my own episodes after I've made them, because a lot of times I'll watch an episode just to make sure I didn't say something too cringeworthy, or just to see how the audio quality is and all that junk. And I'll notice I make a lot of stupid mistakes just watching it, and it's just because when you're playing a game and you're in the moment of playing the game, you don't always notice the same things as when you're just observing a game, because obviously when you're just observing a game, there's a lot less things you have to worry about personally, so you might not notice when you make a stupid mistake, whereas obviously when you're just being an observer, you know, I don't know, what's that saying? Hindsight is always 20/20. I mean, it's not that relevant, but it's kind of true, because it's like when you're watching someone else who's playing a game, it is different than actually playing the game yourself, you know? So, I don't know, there's my little random rant I made. I probably made like 10 stupid small mistakes while I was giving that rant. That is one thing I noticed too, is when I get really, like, into talking about a certain story or a certain subject, I, like, have no attention span, especially in a game like Rimworld. I mean, it'd be one thing if I was playing, like, a first-person shooter where you don't necessarily have to be focusing on the game all that much in the first place, but a game like Rimworld, you do kind of need to be paying attention all the time, so when I go into some big story about something I have, or some big opinion I have on something in the game, it definitely sort of... It causes a lot more possibility of me making a stupid mistake, is my point I'm making here. So, I don't know, I guess, I hate people that use this sort of argument, but it's like, if you think that making a Let's Play and being able to play perfectly is that easy, then how about you try it, you know? I hate people that use that sort of argument, like, if I like people always use that argument if you're criticizing, like, art or a video game. They're like, oh, I want you to do it, but I don't know, I'm thinking, that is one of those things where it's like, it's a lot harder than you think it is my point, in some cases. I mean, that's probably why some Let's Players, especially the really popular ones, a lot of them, like certain people like Game Grumps, they can do everything just off the cuff, although then again, people always criticize them for being terrible at video games, so that's the thing, is, I mean, a lot of times it seems like being funny and being good at video games are mutually independent things. Not that I'm saying I'm all that funny, but I mean, I guess I shouldn't just say that, but also being interesting and being good at video games, they kind of conflict with one another, because, I don't know. And that's probably why, to be perfectly honest, if you watch a lot of the people that are, like, hardcore with games like StarCraft and shit, and, like, CSGO, a lot of them are kind of, like, socially awkward, and if they tried making a Let's Play, they'd be extremely cringeworthy, but I don't know. That's probably why. There are things that don't go well together, it seems. Being good at video games and being able to make any sort of decent commentary don't always mix well. And yes, there are some people that are good at it. I'm not saying it's impossible. Those are probably the types of people that get really popular in the YouTube gaming community, but I'm definitely not one of them. So yeah, there's that giant tirade. Honestly, though, too, I am sort of just biding my time until I can get component assembly. Oh yeah, that got done a long time ago. See, that's the thing, is when I get into a big story or a big thing about my opinion like I just did, I completely forget about certain tasks like that right there, which I guess that's just my own personal problem, but... And some people give me tips like, oh, you should write a note of things you should do in the episode, but I don't think that would help, because if I get into a big conversation, I'll just probably forget about the note anyways, so... I don't know, I guess my point is, a lot of my flaws are just a part of my personality, or it's just a part of my inability to play this game and make good commentary at the same time, so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I kind of prefer streaming, is because when I make a stupid mistake, I can easily fix it. Like, because that's one thing I liked when I did stream, is when someone would tell me, like, information or correct me, it, like, I don't know, it's just a lot easier to do, obviously, because if I'm making a Let's Play and I have to Google something, that's really unprofessional, but if I'm streaming and I don't know something and I just ask my, the people in the chat, if I just say, hey, what do you think I should do about such and such a thing, it works, Like, I don't know, I just feel like, that's just why I like live streaming more, kind of, is live streaming just feels, like, more comfortable, And you kind of don't have to be as professional because everything is live. Which I guess being live is a bit... I don't know, and it was a bit scary for me at first, and I'm sure that's why a lot of people, or some people, prefer Let's Playing over live streaming, as Let's Playing, I don't know. At least with Let's Playing, you can sort of... If you make a mistake, you can edit it out, or you can plan certain topics ahead of time, whereas when you're live streaming, everything's sort of just off the cuff. Is that even a saying? Like, is off the cuff a saying, or did I just make that up? I'm not sure if that's an actual analogy that's a real thing, or if I'm just completely making it up. And I don't quite know why I'm doing that. I think what I kind of want to do is just spruce up a lot of the nooks and crannies of my base. Especially because, like I said, when I have to deal with stupid infestations, it's kind of annoying when I've got a lot of random parts of my base that are inaccessible. Or like what happened, I remember, is when we got that infestation, because the natural wall was going out to here, I kept having to, like, try to, I don't know, it was just really annoying to try to have to draw them out through that little corridor. And I guess this will give us some chunks too, because we are kind of out of chunks in our immediate vicinity. Alright, so I got a lot of wood. Another thing I want to do is do wood flooring in all these places. I think we have more than enough right now. I mean, ideally, I'm gonna make wood flooring, like, literally, like, that'll be all the wood flooring. Actually, like, all the way to here, pretty much. Well, all the way to here, as well as there. So, I'm gonna need, like, 3,000, well, yeah, like, in total, I'm gonna probably need, like, 2,500 wood. It's gonna be definitely a lot. A bunch of cloth. Not something I really need. Okay, we are running out of food a little bit, I just noticed. It is winter, too. I didn't really notice that. It's actually quite nice, the temperature in the game right now, because right now it's winter in Wisconsin while I'm making this video, and it's been not getting above 10 degrees Fahrenheit very often. Yeah, it is too bad about the Imperial system and the fact that that's the only thing I'm really comfortable with, because okay, here's the thing. I understand the Celsius system to an extent, because, like, in science classes in the US, like, in science classes, at least in my state, we only really ever use the metric system. But the problem is that science oftentimes, like, it's not something that you can, like, physically grasp, if that makes sense. Like, the reason why a lot of people, I think, in the US are afraid of changing from Fahrenheit is Fahrenheit is what you see on the news every day. So, like, everyone, like, if I think of 10 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, I can, like, physically feel that number, Like, I have a physical association with that number. And I think people are just afraid of having to relearn that. Because, like, with Celsius, like, I don't really have an understanding of what 10 degrees Celsius feels like, or 30 degrees Celsius. Like, I know, all I really know with Celsius is 100 degrees Celsius is boiling point, 0 degrees Celsius is freezing point, so I kind of understand that. Okay, why is a grizzly bear? Oh my god, Fish is gonna die by a grizzly bear. I guess, I mean, holy shit, what? Oh man. Yeah, when I designated the hunting of the Muffalo, I accidentally chose a fucking bear. Shit. Well, I guess, I mean, shit. It's kind of funny, because, I mean, bears do enjoy eating fish. Okay, Fish, run. Okay, Darth Kitten, try getting there and getting some shots off. Okay, the bear must have been injured. Yeah, his leg is injured. So, fortunately, Fish is able to outrun the bear a little. Okay, good, he got a shot off. Okay, Fish might be able to live. Okay, let's slow this down, because I don't want 3 times speed. Oh, great. The one person who's able to arrive is our fucking pacifist. Wonderful. Okay, Fish, just keep running. You 3, stand your ground. Yeah. Darth Kitten, I kind of just forgot about you. Oh, shit. I never gave all these guys weapons. I didn't realize that. Yeah. I think Scorpion, Vassalo, yeah, all my new guys don't have weapons, so that's another good, fine example of me making a stupid mistake. I never gave them weapons. Wait, I can rescue the grizzly bear? I'd rather not. How about you just bash his head in, Vibes? Good job, Vibes. So yes, there's a fine example of me making a stupid mistake. And that's the thing, is at least during a live stream, if I looked at the chat, someone could say, hey, idiot, you just designated a grizzly bear to be hunted. And I guess, I mean, to be honest, I think some people like watching someone make stupid mistakes like that, because watching my life be suffering, I think people just enjoy that. Like, some people are obviously really OCD and anal about, like, their Let's Player doing everything perfectly, so when someone makes a stupid mistake, they can't handle that, but I think some people enjoy it, so I think that's one thing I've learned sort of through Let's Playing, is you can never please everyone, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of just sort of decided to just play games and make videos however I feel like playing and making them, because there's literally no way to please everyone, you know? Sure, you can always sort of try to conform to the most common, the common denominator of viewers and whatnot. You can always sort of try to conform to what people in general believe, but you can really never please everyone. So if you try to be a people pleaser while you're making Let's Plays, like, sure, I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to people's comments on your videos, but I'm saying you just can't please everyone, is really all I'm saying. That's one of the things I definitely have learned, If I tried to conform to the way everyone wants me to stream or Let's Play or whatever, someone would be upset in the end no matter what. So I just kind of do whatever I feel like, because that's, like I said, I didn't make Let's Plays in the hope that I would be like the next PewDiePie or anything like that. If that was my hope, then I'd be commentating a lot differently, and I'd be making videos a lot differently than I am if I was trying to become the next PewDiePie. But I only really made Let's Plays because I always watch Let's Plays and I enjoy Let's Plays, so it just is something I wanted to do, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, I went off on some weird, I went off on a lot of random weird rants this episode, though that's the thing, is like I said, we're kind of reaching the climax of the game, you know? A lot of the main worries I have are kind of taken care of, you know? I should probably not allow sewing anymore because of the whole fact that it's now 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's similar to the temperature it is right now where I'm living. It's in like the 10s, the 5s. So yeah, I went off on some big rant after talking about the Celsius system. That's the thing, is if I don't control myself, I can go off on some crazy-ass tangents that make zero sense. And that's exactly what kind of happened. Does everyone have a bed? I think finally every bed is taken up, isn't it? Wow, that's impressive. One thing I wanted to do, we don't have very much wood anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna just designate even more wood choppingness. Yeah, there's very little wood that is actually harvestable, unfortunately. I think I'll have to go way over here, which is gonna be a pain in the ass, but what I want to do is, like I said, I want to finish off the rest of this flooring, and I also would like to, well, make some more beds. And actually, the one thing I want to do is deconstruct all the beds that are below normal, and then reconstruct them. I could actually sort of start doing that now, and then I can keep improving the beds further and further, because it actually makes a pretty big difference between, like, an excellent bed and a shoddy bed. You know, it makes, like, 15%, like, a rate of, like, 15% difference. Oh, and another ship part. It crashed in a pretty good position for us because what I can do is I can move some turrets over here. You know what? These nests, they don't have the highest. I mean, they have a pretty decently high. Yeah, if you look at this, they have a pretty decently high. What would you call it? Health points, but I don't know. I'm thinking of moving these over here and seeing how well that works. Because look at the range of this thing, you know? Compared to turrets, a pretty damn big difference. I'm going to do that. I'm going to see how well this works, because you can reinstall these anywhere you feel like. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put one on that side of the lake, and I'm going to put another one on this side. Yeah, one of the things that sucks with this mod, and I think I've already mentioned this, or at the very least I mentioned it in the alternate timeline, is it really sucked having to deal with not getting a lot of common weaponry. Like, what the hell? All these animals are, like, running towards us. It scared me for a second. Oh, they're all, like, migrating. That's weird. Yeah, I guess it's a good thing I got all that muffalo when I did, because it seems like a lot of animals are starting to migrate or something. We still have a lot of ibexes, though, and I don't think this is the type of temperature that ibexes are supposed to survive in. But then again, I guess I don't really know what the hell an ibex is in the first place, so there's that. Okay. So yeah, those people can haul that stuff over there. And then what I'm going to do is add some walls. Yeah, we have a very interesting defensive thing here, because I've got this from the last psychic ship, and now I've got this weird thing going on. Oh yeah, cutting is a #1 priority. I mean, I really do want the wood. It won't take that long to harvest. We've got so many people that stuff like cutting is a easy thing to do. And oh yes, before I freaking forget, I just noticed this after the last breakdown. How's about I actually give my people some weaponry? Oh man, let's see. We don't have very many weapons, because a lot of this shit is just terrible feral stuff that I don't even want. I don't even think we have anything else besides a bow. My god, we have so few weapons, and they're all terrible as well. Alright, that's better. Okay, now everyone has a weapon for the most part, I think. Yeah, everyone has a weapon besides Hariel, and that doesn't matter because Hariel is a pacifist, so does not make a difference. I suppose the one thing a pacifist could be good for is you could give them a weapon that Yeah, you could give them a weapon they could switch out with another member of your colony if you feel like it. Alright, so let's go ahead and reinstall these as well. Or at least a couple of them. Yeah, unfortunately, reinstalling is a very tedious process. Very, very much so. Yeah, also, actually, I think I'm going to end this episode here. I think it was a decently lengthy one. I went off on a lot of random tangents and ramblings, but like I said, we don't have that much going on in the game right now, so that's mostly why I did that. You know, I can normally keep myself occupied commenting on the game and all that, but this time, actually, oh man, I just remembered something. I forgot to talk about this. I just noticed yesterday, the Rimworld, the newest alpha, it's apparently on the development thing on Steam, so it's not been actually released Alpha 16, but it's in like early access. It's in early access, I suppose you could say. It's in like the test branch on Steam. So I guess my question is, do you guys want me to? I mean, I'll finish this Let's Play no matter what because we're pretty close to being done anyways. But do you guys want me to play the like unfinished alpha, or do you guys want me to just sort of continue with this and then, you know, play the newest alpha when it's actually fully released without the bugs and all that stuff? So yeah, that's one thing I completely forgot to mention. So I'm curious what you guys might want me to do with that. So yeah, thank you all for watching though, and goodbye.